Anybody can record.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for coming back. So we have today, as normal, my girl Cherie.
What up?
We got my girl Tanya, the birthday girl.
Right.
Yes.
Birthday.
Happy birthday. Yes.
Thank you.
And then we have my sister girl Maggie.
Hey y'all.
Hey y'all. So I hope everybody is keeping regular right now in these times, as these spiking times. Be safe. Okay. So Cherie, I'm gonna put it over to you. What we talking about today?
Right. So if you've already seen us last week, you know we had the men on the call, and that was great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do it again. But hey, things happen, life happened. We couldn't get on at the same time, so we're gonna have them on another show. So be on the lookout because it's gonna be fire like before. But make sure you go back and listen to the other episodes because everything leads on to the next one, okay? So we'll see y'all in a minute.
Yes.
Do it today.
Okay. So I was like, Lord, what am I supposed to talk about? So, because we talk about so much, we really do. So I was like, what are going to be at our age? We 35, 36-ish, because now, oh, wait a minute, half the group is 36.
Right.
Three and Tanya, they 36, and me and Maggie, we trailing on, but we still 35. Well, we're really 27 at heart, but that's fine.
Girl, like 25. It's all good.
At heart, I'm 27 and I look 27. It's fine. So we're talking about deal breakers and how it's changed. It might change over time. So we're gonna talk about deal breakers, what you will and won't do with a guy so that he can get to the next level of being with you for life.
Right.
So
right.
Let's go. Who gonna go first?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you my deal breakers before Jesus, and I'm gonna give you my deal breakers after Jesus. Okay? And the reason why I said that because I have been on this journey. Well, not this journey. I've been on the journey to actually learn and to build a relationship with God Himself and Jesus Christ. So, of course, when you do that, things change. Now.
Oh, what are they right now?
Right, I'm gonna do I'm gonna do it before and after.
Before and after.
Okay, what they used to be.
So before, my deal breakers now, don't be side on me, okay? Remember, I was forky back in the day.
But it's okay.
Remember, I was trash. All right. So So my deal breakers were. You had to be light skinned, okay? I wouldn't take nobody darker, all right?
Wait a minute, okay.
Right. You had to be like my height or shorter. You had to be like it's dumb stuff. You had to, what else? What was the other deal breaker? Oh my gosh, I just had it.
Those are deal breakers or those just preferences?
Girl, no, it was a deal breaker. Like, I literally was looking at dark-skinned dudes.
Whoa.
I know, hindsight 2020.
Colorism is real. It's real.
I love it.
So I was like, no. I mean, y'all remember the little short, light skin, tall, light skin.
Yes, they were.
They were. I liked them. I really liked them. My height, a little bit shorter. Tall was just like, he's a little too tall. Anyway, what was another one?
That brings a good question.
Oh my gosh, it was another one that was very shallow and just disrespectful. But the other ones was you have to be honest. Like, I don't like people that lie. Like, it irks me because I could point out your BS from a mile away. This is point blank. Yeah. So that was a deal breaker for me. If I'm like, I see you're lying. Even the smallest stuff, deuces, dude. Like, this is just too much. Yeah. I think, for the most part, I'm gonna say those are off the top of my head because I knew they were like wrong. Okay. Now, hindsight 2020, we at this day, my first deal breaker is you have to build a relationship with Jesus Christ. And the only reason why that is a must is, for one, Not only because I know that your heart is pure, I know that you'll be able to, be in a relationship with me, as in love me the way God loves me, this, that, and the third. That's a whole nother thing. But also to deal with not having sex, to deal with a lot of dating barriers, you're not going to understand, or you're not even going to be willing to do any of those things if you're not building that relationship with Jesus Christ. Because you're going to be looking at me like, but we can, but we can't. But we can, because it's cool. No. And a lot of people don't know that I was a legit virgin until I was like 21, 22. So even though I had like all these dudes, I was able to be like, back it up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one big thing for me. The next one is, of course, I have a child. So if you're not a family man, or if you're not even in the mindset of having more children or this, that, and the third, we can't even, don't even come over here, say what's up. It ain't happening. We can be friends. Cool. The third deal breaker is communication for me. Because if you cannot if we can't even at least have the respect to say, hey, this is what's going on with me. Hey, I don't feel like talking about it. I feel like talking about it. Or like, I don't like this, that, and the third. I don't have time. I'm like, done. Like, it's no point for us to go further because of how I did not talk. I'm a talker now. Like, I am going to tell you what's going on. And if you shut down, this ain't going to work because I don't have time. Like, first of all, we too old, for one. For you to be out here being like, I don't want to, okay, bet. You acting like a child. I already got one. I don't need two. The door's over there.
Thanks.
Right. Thanks. But no.
Thanks.
Those are the top ones. I'm pretty sure if I started thinking about some more shenanigans, I'm pretty sure I can come up with some more.
So when you say,
we can talk about that later. It'll come back later. No worries.
Right. When you say family man, Cherie, you mean like be able to be around children or be active in their lives with as your perception of what a man should be doing? Because a lot of men, I noticed their thing of family is if they're providing, if they're doing what they need to do, like what if they don't have kids? So they would just need to be okay with being around a family, or are you okay with them having their own children, or what you mean by family man?
So, that is one. So before I was like, I ain't dating nobody with no kid, this, that, and the third. I was like, no, we ain't doing it. Wow. So now that has changed. But as far as like being a family man, like a family man for me is you're active. Like you are the husband and the father. Like a father and a husband, yes, they provide, but you got to provide on many different levels. If you don't understand that it's more than just giving me money, and it's more than just, being there physically, emotionally, you have to be there. Spiritually, you have to be there, and physically and mentally. So if you can't do all those things, and I understand like some people just don't know, but if you're not striving to do those things, then it's just like,
oh, okay,
you go clash. It's not going to work.
Right. Oh, and I'm gonna let them know real quick. So,
girl,
but okay,
real quick.
Your mama gonna let them know.
Okay, with the quickness. Gosh.
All righty.
Okay, Tanya.
Oh, me. I'm calling out Maggie, Vicky. Okay, so me, some deal breakers. Okay. So I used to have this thing where I dated men with multiple children. That wasn't no deal breaker for me. It be like anything goes, as long as you love me, love is love. Now, at my age, now that I have an older child, they can have children. That's not a deal breaker, but the age limit of the children. Like, I do not want to date anybody with younger kids. Like, I just don't see myself bringing that on myself again. Like, somebody still in diapers, not in school, kindergarten. Like, I don't want to do that all over again. And that's just me. That's just my preference. I would rather not date nobody with a child, that's not even in elementary school yet, that has a young baby. Even if you raising, your child by yourself, you know, single dad. I ain't got nothing wrong with single dad, but the age that I'm at, I'm looking to date an older man, you know, who's my age or older. That's just my preference. I'm sorry. My age or older. So I guess age wouldn't be a deal breaker as long as you are stable in your career and, you know, able to be self-sufficient on your own. That is one thing, because what I bring to the table, I would rather prefer a man that's able to uplift me and to take me to a higher ground, and be able to lead. And there's no way a man that I'm going to date right now is going to be able to not have a job, not be stable, be in between, you know, even if you're in between jobs, and you know, with COVID, I'm sorry, you shouldn't be dating me. I mean, that's just me. If you in between jobs, then boo-boo, you don't have to date me. And I'm okay with that, because I'm okay with being single now. And I'm okay with that. God will make a way. Well, when he makes that way for you, he will bring you back to me when you're ready. But as right now, you know, I'm not dating nobody who's unstable, who's not self-sufficient in himself and able to uplift me and bring me to the next level. I don't want to be trying to drag somebody up, because, you know, I'm not put here to lead the household. I'm not put here to be the leader in the relationship. I definitely prefer the man to lead. And I'll have his back and be that nurturer, and uplift him. But he definitely has to be established and be self-sufficient. That's just how I am, especially with me having a son.
Are you open to more kids, though? Are you open to more children?
Oh yeah, oh definitely. I'm open to more children. If you know, we get together and even if he has one child, you know, that's older, and he says, you know, I want to have a child together. One, we definitely have to be married. And definitely, it has to be planned. It's not gonna be a oops, you know. Ain't gonna be no oops, because it ain't gonna be nothing beforehand. So, so that's how I feel about that. And if, you know, I'm not against children, but I'm not in dire need of having children either. So, you know, like I said, it has to be a conversation, definitely have to be married. And if that's something, you know, that he's led by the Spirit, you know, he heard from God, you know, we need more children, you know, even adopted, you know, I mean, it could come in different forms. Right. If he feels like, you know, we should adopt, then I'll be like, okay, you know, well, let's pray about it. Let's communicate about it. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with more kids, you know, so.
Thank you, Tanya.
Yeah. And then it was something else. Oh, Lord Jesus. So let me get my life right.
Right.
That was the main thing. Be, you know, like Cherie said, definitely be a God-fearing man.
Yes,
definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely be able, you know, have no shame in praying, have no shame in, you know, praying for me on the vacation, praying for me in front of, you know, anybody. Definitely not afraid or ashamed of the Lord. So I'm definitely big on that, because I want to be an example for kids around, and I want to be an example for my own child. So who am I to be dating somebody that's not, you know, has a relationship with God and doesn't have a love for God? I mean, you don't have to be the pastor, you don't have to be a deacon, but you definitely have to be able to be led by the Spirit and have your own relationship with God. So as we're trying to get closer to God myself. So those are my deals, you know, I would say those are my deal breakers.
Okay, and now we're on to Sister Maggie.
Yep. So when you first posed the question, what are your deal breakers? I was like, do I have any? And I went back to, and I'm not saying that like I don't have any deal breakers. What I'm saying is I have a list of my desires and wants in a partner. And so I pray over that list, and I've written that out. So when it comes to what are your true deal breakers, you know, I feel like you meet different people at different times in your life where you're willing to deal with something where you weren't willing to deal with it 5 years ago, or you're not willing to, or you hold on, you can deal with it now, or you won't deal with it now, vice versa, right?
Right.
But I will piggyback off Sheree and Tanya. I definitely, when it comes to a man of prayer, I was raised in a house where my daddy was not ashamed of prayer, would pray with the family, whatever, right? My daddy always said he was the police, the pastor, the fireman, the school teacher, whatever we did. So I need a man like that that's not afraid to pray and can be an example, right? I also, drugs, like, no judgment. There are just lots of free, open spirit. But if it's illegal, I don't want my partner going to jail because he's doing something illegal. Now, if it's legal and we can't get in trouble, I'm all about it. But I just don't want to get caught up in no crazy situations, right? What else? Children, if you can't have kids or don't want kids, or you have 3 and you're like, I'm done, that's a deal breaker, because I really desire to have kids. So that's a deal breaker for me, especially whether dating, not even dating older. Some people your age have 3 and 4 kids, have been married, and they're like, I don't want any more. Cool, we can't be together, right?
Okay.
What else? I think really those are the main ones, right? Right now, that's what I can think of as deal breakers. I think one other thing. So when it comes to, right, being 35, we've lived our lives single for 35 years. I think Sheree hit it on the head. Communication is a big one, but not just communication. Don't come with these preconceived notions of everything I'm supposed to be. We have to work and grow together and understand what works for us. So if you're not willing to learn and grow together and you're just stuck like it has to be this way, that's a deal. That's not going to work. We're going to have to do this as a partnership. So that's
agreed.
That sounds good. That sounds good, Maggie.
Right.
I'm with you on that. And the thing is, we're clearly going to have a part 2 on this, because we have to really think about, what is it that is really like, hello? Because this was kind of, last minute. So what would you like? What would you didn't like? Whatever.
Yeah.
So I will say, for me, my deal breaker is like Sheree, Sister Sheree has said, that it's changed. Because I knew I could not date no man with children. But this will come up in a future show. But I ended up dealing with somebody with multiple children.
Hello.
And I was like, hello, Jesus, what is going on? And that's not to negate him as a man. You being a great man has nothing to do with you having multiple children.
That's right.
So we just want to put that out there. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is how you're dealing with your man, how you're dealing with your kids. Because even though I have no children right now, which if the Lord wills, I will have children, and I need him to want to have kids as well. Like Maggie said, I want us to have children. But as Tanya said, I think that it doesn't matter how it comes. Yeah. Like if it comes adoption, if God says, oh, well, we get adoption, whatever the case may be. But you got to be a prayer warrior. The guy that I deal with has got to not be scared of prayer.
Right.
Can't be scared of prayer. You cannot be scared, because like we all 4 of us have grown up in a God-fearing household. And so and of course, just because we grew up in it, we have to see it for ourselves. And I know prayer works for me. So I need to have somebody who's God-fearing. Maggie was funny with the drugs.
I'm just saying. I want this. I ain't trying to go to jail.
And plus, you know what, my one of my aunts, she said to me, you know what your husband is? Y'all husbands are in jail. I'm like, what?
Girl,
I said, well, my husband in prison? But she says that because it wasn't literal, but I think she was saying it like all the good men, because of so many things that's happening in the country, you're getting tossed up in jail and you don't get a second chance. Gotcha. So that's why she was saying it. Because I was like, wait a minute, what? I got to get money on the books? What's happening? That's not exactly that one. And communication, yes, Sheree, communication has got to be key. You mad at me? Cool, just say I need a moment. We'll talk about it later. Right. That's fine. We can do that. Because I know I'm gonna make you mad. You're gonna make me mad. Just take a minute. But don't be scared of that kind of stuff. Like we're gonna have issues. No relationship is without issues. Friendship, anything. So I want them to be okay to deal with that. That's one of them. He's got to be, oh my gosh, he gotta have confidence. Woo.
Hey.
Hello. Confidence. because I see men as the leader, as Tanya has said, the leader. So you can't lead me if you're not confident.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not confident, then how am I going to look at you like, hello, help me? Are you going to help me? Are you going to help me? I can't. You got to be a leader. And I think a lot of guys are scared of their leadership skills for whatever reason. It might be the way they grew up. It might be a lot of things. But for me, you got to be a leader. And not leading me down the wrong path, but leading me down a path that's going to work for me and you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like we both are growing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta have that. Now with the kids, God is gonna have to speak on that one. If God says, hello, this is him, then okay, Jesus, you're gonna make a way.
Right.
But as long as he is, like Tanya said, in your child's life, not just money-wise, emotionally, you know, and you're leading them down the way of God, then we can do that. Light skin or dark skin, I do not care. I did back in the day, but I don't care no more. But I know part of that is because of society, which that's a whole nother topic.
Yes, that's
Because
exactly
society
why.
will show you what's accepted and what's not. They'll try to anyway. That's why you gotta have a village that'll tell you what's up.
Right.
So I'm happy. You got, like Tanya said this too. You don't have to be rich. I'm not asking you to be rich.
Right.
But you got to know how to deal with your money, your finances. If you live from check to check, we might have an issue. At 35, 36, we might have an issue with that if you're living check to check. That's stressful. So you have to have vision. Like, I don't care what you do. I really don't. But you have to have a vision of, okay, if I'm gonna work in Walmart, no shade to Walmart. But if you work in Walmart or one of those jobs, that's fine. But do you want to own a Walmart?
Right.
You want to be the manager of the Walmart? Yeah. We got to take you. Do you want to get the stocks, the 401k? Do you want to do? Let's go that way, you know. And I think sometimes women, we're here to say, hey, babe, how about you think about this? So as long as he's open and willing with that one, and Tanya brought up a great point with, I met this lady the other day, and she was very open, and she just got married. She's 59. She's been married 4 years. That's it. And I was like, what's up with that? She was like, I wanted to take care of me. I wanted to take care of me and make sure I was in a good place before I tried to go. I wanted to live my life and do what I want to do. And then he just folded right on in. And she's happy.
Exactly.
So that's really what I want. I want a guy to be like, hello. If I'm having issues, I want to be like, hey, I want to talk to you, and you lift me up in some kind of way. So, you know, and no comparison. I want a guy that's not with comparison. Like, you're not like my mama. You not like such and such. Why you don't do like such and such? That ain't gonna work.
Girl. Those are those preconceived notions that you're coming to.
That's exactly what Maggie said.
Like the woman should always cook, just certain things. Like,
because now at our age, the men be cooking. It's not about that no more. Like, men cook, and they cook well. So the whole preconceived with Maggie, what Maggie was saying with the preconceived, like, okay, so preconceived, like, okay, you got to take out the trash, which I hope you do, but you got to take out the trash. I got to cook. I got to do this. I got to do that. Like, well, that might not work for what we got going on.
Exactly.
Right.
And if you see my mom a certain way, hold on. If you see my mama do something, that don't have nothing to do with me. Know me. Don't know Vicky Turner.
Right.
Robert Turner. No Victoria Turner. You know what I mean? Don't do that. I don't like that. And even if you knew me as a child, like we grew up together, what you saw then is not who you see now.
Right.
I'm new. So, anybody else have any last statements about what you see and what you want in a man? Because I really believe, since we're believers, we are. Thank you, Jesus. Since we're believers, it's time to put it forth on what you want. Like Maggie said, she wrote a list and she prays over the list.
Right.
So since Maggie prays over her list, you have to start putting it out there and putting it into fruition. Like it's time. It's time.
And my list, I would read it all. I got a list too.
About to say, that's another show we're gonna read our list. Okay.
I got a list and I keep it in my Bible.
That's
I
so
pray over it.
like,
But I didn't bring my Bible. But yeah, I got one. But it
I
has
also wanted to say about the men and their kids, because the kids was a big topic in all 4 of ours.
Yes.
And we say we want the man to be involved emotionally, financially, all of the above in their kids' lives. But we also understand there are situations where women have taken their kids away from the men. So we understand there are lots of circumstances, situations out there. I've been with people, so we understand that. But are you fighting? Are you still trying to get to your kids?
You fighting?
Are you wanting? Have you stopped? So, just to put that out there as well, we are very well aware of those situations as well. So.
Yes, we are. We know it.
I mean,
we got brothers.
Yeah, multiple kids is a deal breaker for me.
What you say?
Even though I used to didn't care about multiple kids for me is a deal breaker. I mean, I just feel like you're being pulled in too many different directions with multiple kids. No, I'm dead serious. I used to be like, oh, I can bring it on, I can handle it. But if I'm being true to what I say, that has definitely changed. I can't do multiple kids. Not with the things that I want to do. I like to travel. I like to, just where I am financially, I feel like unless you are financially able to provide for all of those kids and be in all of their lives, I mean, time, we all got the same time. So I'm like, if you have multiple women and multiple kids, I'm talking about even 4 or 5, I can't do that.
My question.
Because I just know what I need. I know what my son needs for one child. Like, how are you going to be able to do that and you have multiple kids? You don't have time to do that. And I that's just me.
Right.
I feel like, one, you don't have the time to do that unless, to me, I have never seen it work. Everybody was
be a whole nother topic for it.
It is a whole nother topic. And that's perfect because we can bring the guys in on what they think about that. With their
have to persuade
kids, and they have to have kids. One of the guests on our last show has children, so want to get his perspective too with kids. So
you have to persuade me. You have to show me that it can work and that it's different. But as of right now, I have never seen it work. I have never seen a guy with multiple children have time and be invested and be active in all of their lives, especially if you have children with multiple women. I have never seen it. And somebody would have to prove me wrong or show me differently. And I ain't talking about no celebrity. I'm talking about a dude that is of my stature, of my status, who has, even in corporate America, or even, just a teacher with multiple kids. You have to show me how you are not being spread thin and being able to juggle all of that. That's just a lot. I mean, I just try as realistic as possible. Yeah, you made them mistakes young, but they have come back to bite you right now. I mean, me too. So those decisions we made as children, even as, in our 20s, those mistakes we've made in our 20s, I'm
child mindset.
Hello, I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing it now. You have to deal with those decisions you made when you were younger. Right. Even another thing, smoking. I can't do nobody who smokes cigarettes. I just can't. I
Me either.
Nothing against smokers. That's your choice. You're grown. You smoke. You drink. You do whatever your vice of habit. That's just me. I don't want nobody who smokes. Even if you take a smoke outside on the patio, brother, I can't do it. Because I don't do it in my household. I don't want it in my household. Even if we're just dating, I don't want to date a smoker.
Right. But what if God gave you? What if God said to you, "This is the man"?
Girl, you hit the nail on the head, because I was just thinking about that. I was like, even though we have all these deal breakers, but you got to listen to what we're saying. Like, yes, we have these deal breakers, but we understand that it takes time and it takes progression. But if you're coming at us and saying, hey, this is what I'm doing, it ain't going to change, then woo, deuces, because I'm letting you know my requirements, I'm letting you know my standards. It's up to you if you can deal with it or if you cannot deal with it. Just like with a smoker could stop smoking, but it has to be their choice to stop smoking. I'm just letting you know what I don't want in my household. So right.
In the dating phase.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, in the dating phase.
And once I see that he smoke, I'll be like, like you said, that communication piece gonna come in there, and I'm gonna be like, boo-boo, I don't do the smoking thing.
Exactly.
And I ain't trying to be with you sneaking the smoke either.
Exactly.
Because
So
I know
if
a
you
lot of,
can't-
you know,
Prime
military,
example.
I
So if
grew up
you
military.
like later came back and be like, hey, I stopped, I heard what you said, but that means the Lord is working within that situation and it can happen. So understand that, hey, we do have these boundaries, that we do have these deal breakers, but we know how God works. God works in mysterious ways and he works how he want to work, do what he want to do when he want to do it. He can change anybody at the drop of a dime.
And he changes us. So thank the Lord.
He do.
Because I was not this way, praise the Lord.
And I'm talking about cigarette smoking. Let me be very clear.
No, yes.
Well, I mean, this is the thing though. Like Bree said, that's a great way to end.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything else to say, Megadocious?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. That's a great way to end. Like, okay, we have these things that we want, but we started this out saying that relationship with God and the specific relationship with Christ. So if you say you have a relationship with God and his son or whatever, that's neither here nor there. In other words, we're saying you believe that there's something bigger than you, something that's greater than you, and you don't run your life, okay? So, which you think you do, but it's okay, you'll learn. So I think that even with that being said, I'm like, all right, well, we have those main things that we said we want. That doesn't mean that it's not what God wants for us or God needs for us. That doesn't mean that we're gonna meet, you can meet somebody who's a chain smoker.
And the package might not be what it should look like.
Exactly.
Right.
And we will not be dating while he chain smoking.
But that's the thing. Like you wouldn't be dating
later.
at that point. Right.
Exactly.
You wouldn't be dating at all at that point. Right, exactly.
Exactly.
Because you would come back and be like, you know what? I heard what you said. The Lord did this, that, and the third. Whoop-de-woo.
That's why God has to be in the center of your relationship.
Exactly.
That's why God has to be in the center of your relationship. Because if it's not, then he's gonna be like, why you don't like me as I am?
Oh, okay. Girl, right.
Okay, we're not gonna do that. So thank you guys so much for joining in. I'm Victoria L. Tanya, do your Cash App. Hello, spread your Cash App. You can tell to the world.
Lord Jesus, I don't know what it is.
Let me look it up.
Okay.
But I think it's Tanya Merle, T Merle.
I think it's T Merle. Dollar sign in the front. T, the letter T. MERL, I believe. That's what it should be.
The letter T.
Mm-hmm. The letter T. I should have looked at it beforehand. Let me see.
I know,
I'm about to say we can look at it now. I'm about to say I'm looking at it.
I know.
I think that once we get there, because we want to put love out there and see if everybody else want to do it. Actually, T Merle. It's T Merle. Tanya, you can come back when you can, but it's T Merle, TMERL. That's her Cash App. Give her some love for her birthday.
Okay. Right. Put that $36 in there, $3.60.
You know what I'm saying?
36.
You know what I'm saying? Give them a look. Yep. You give them 35. You want to give her 35 cents or $3.50 or whatever you want to give her. Well, actually, she's 36 now. My bad. 36. Right. So
this time we're gonna put it on the actual post.
Yes, I'm gonna put it on there just so you guys know about that Cash App. So we love you guys. We thank you guys for all that you do, for being, and we're gonna have a great time with these conversations. We want to hear from you guys. So I know a lot of people are very shy about writing comments, but you guys, we want to hear from you. We love you. We thank you. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram as well as Facebook on our page, The Waiting Game Chapter 35. We're going to post the video. It always comes out at 5 o'clock on Fridays. If something else comes up, we would let you know ahead of time. We're going to have the guys next week to discuss. Just come in and you'll see what we're discussing. Or just follow the shows and you will see what we are discussing.
Each other.
Yeah, so we're waiting on Sister Tanya. She wants to come back and say goodbye to you guys. We can't see you, Tanya. We can't see you, but goodbye.
I know.
Okay, I'm back.
Bye, y'all.
I know what happened. Right. It is T Merle, though. T Merle. All right, I'm sorry, y'all.
Bye.
Let me exit and bye.